Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to react to another episode of House of the Dragon. This is episode 4. It is called King in the Narrow Sea, or King of the Narrow Sea, something like that. Last episode was a doozy. Probably my favorite episode of the show so far. We started out following Daemon in his war against the Crab Feeder, and then spent quite a bit of time hanging out with the king, Viserys, and his daughter, Rhaenyra. And it was all about like this hunt to celebrate the baby's second name day. And Rhaenyra is all annoyed because like no one cares that she's actually the heir. And the king is struggling with, you know, he named her the heir and he's been confident in that decision. But now he's wavering and he's like, is this the right choice or not? He ends up settling on telling her that she will not be supplanted, which is really good. That's super dope. We love her. We think she's great, and I am going to be bummed when that actress is no longer playing her, even though the older version of her is probably super great as well. But then the king decides he's going to send troops to help Daemon in his fight, and Daemon takes that as an insult, because he's been fighting this war kind of on his own the whole time. And so now he's like, dude, you're just going to come in and sweep everything up and try and claim victory for yourself. Like, this is me. I did this. Because he did it in part to spurn the king. And he goes on this, like, one-man suicide run in order to draw out the Crab Feeder and his men. And then the Valerian troops come in and they, you know, go to town, and was it Laenor? He has Sea Smoke, the dragon. He comes in burning people, and then Daemon comes out of the cave, Crab Feeder cut in half, and then the episode ends, and it's like, oh, like insane. Going into this episode, I think it takes place like another time jump, like a year after maybe. And I know just like from the trailer or whatever, they named Daemon King of the Narrow Sea, hence the title of the episode. And so that could either spell conflict between him and the crown, or it could be, you know, he could surprise us. Who knows? Either way, I'm super excited to jump into this episode. So before we do that, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. That means a lot to me and helps my channel out a lot. If you are new here, or you find yourself come back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to more of House of the Dragon, because I will be reacting to all of it. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That is linked in the description below. But otherwise, let's check out this episode.
Future Dornish incursions. And though my
are all these people in line to try and marry her? Yeah, if you have to stop in the middle of your speech to go get water, I don't think you're gonna win.
The view across the marches is inspiring. So said Queen Alizanne herself when she honored my father and I.
And tell me, Lord Dondarrion.
Oh, you're related to Beric.
This was half a century ago, Princess.
Yes, it was.
That was unseemly, Princess.
The man is older than my father. It's unseemly for him to put himself forward as a contender for my hand.
You're goddamn right. You old, wrinkly butthole. Get out of here. Oh, this one's a child. Nope.
And now a child.
My princess. Ours is a bond that has long endured. Since Lucas Blackwood, the grandsire of my grandsire, aided the dragon in his war of conquest.
Aye, the Blackwoods truly turned the tide on that one.
Hey, you jerk. Stop talking.
If chosen as your match, princess, your day shall be easy and night safe under my protection.
God dang right.
Protection? The princess has a dragon, you dumb cunt.
Bro, do you think that... Do you think you're gonna be chosen when you're mean like that? No.
craven.
Oh,
See that steel, you twat!
Send
yo.
word to the harbour and have Captain Oswin ready the ship.
Princess.
What if that kid dies in the background?
We have brought an end to this ridiculous pageant.
Let's go! Let's go! Teach you to keep your mouth shut, boy. What a goat. Young stunner. He's accomplished in battle. A dragon? Which one? Sea smoke? Oh no, that's Damon.
You right? Are you?
Ow, that looked like it hurt. What the heck? Caraxus, or whichever one you are? The bloodworm? Just casually strolling in. I think she has a crush on him. Oh, and she walks in tandem with him. He's so intimidating.
Added to the chair. Once we smash the triarchy, they name me King of the Narrow Sea. But I know that there is only one true king, Your Grace.
Ooh, very interesting.
My crown and the stepstones are yours.
He's never looked cooler than this.
Rise.
I like that he cut his hair. Oh, they love each other. I truly do think they love each other.
No, it's no great mystery. You were.
Otto's
Our
scheming.
mother, she had no
He's just looking from a distance, planning stuff.
Congratulations on your victory.
Oh, was she not supposed to speak?
As I said, you with a...
These two with their looks at each other. Alicent, we don't want to talk to you. We don't like you. You've arguably done little wrong, but we still don't like you.
It is rare for girls in this realm to get a choice between two suitors, no less 2 score of them. Those men and boys don't fawn over me.
Yeah, they fawn over her role.
I find I have few friends, baby. I like to believe I'm still the Lady Alicent, but...
Yeah, no. No one sees you as... Yeah, they just see you as the queen. There's a level of unapproachability
I've missed you too.
that comes with it. Okay, since when are you guys friends again? Thought we didn't like her.
Mature, perhaps.
You've matured yourself these last 4 years, Princess.
4 years since he left. How old is she then? 18?
Una no hadaranni apikago ni seitax. The parseri morkakotas. Enkos vochos potilundaor.
Something tells me you're gonna produce a couple of heirs.
Good night, Sir Kristen.
Sleep well, princess.
Hey, yo, Sir Christian, you trying to smash right now? Those are common people clothes. About to sneak out. Oh, it's a secret passageway out of your room. That's super cool. She's out of breath.
He called me boy.
Yeah, no one knows who you are. You're in for a night of debauchery.
So which heir might that chair bear? Who will it be? The brother?
Or the daughter?
Rhaenyra. Aegon the Babe Prince might long for acclaim. He has two things Rhaenyra cannot. A conqueror's name.
And a wiener.
Cock.
Yep. Oh. Slander!
4 Copper Street rat in King's Landing we pay for our pleasures.
Hey, stop! Boy! Wait, I'll find him.
She just chucks it back and runs. Oh. Classic Rhaenyra.
And who might you be running from now?
It's the hob.
Princess.
Good thing that he recognized her.
Who knows when our next taste freedom?
Ooh, holding hands. Oh, she sleeps alone? She doesn't even sleep with the king.
The king has requested your presence.
He wants some late night booty. I think that's the whole point. He's trying to smash. Ugh. He's got like lesions all over him. And she is not enjoying this borderline dead body thrusting into her. Ugh. I would have kept my hat on. Why did he make her throw it away? What the heck? Okay, lots of naked people. I'm gonna have to blur a lot of this out. Oi. Oh, she got large boobies.
Fucking is a pleasure, you see. For the woman as it is the man.
Stark contrast between the king and these two. Oh. Yeah, Alicent is not having fun.
But that doesn't stop us from doing what we want.
Yo, this is incest, guys. Guys, this is illegal in America. I knew that these two would be doing this. You hooligans. Can't believe them. I mean, this is typical of Targaryens, though, if we're being real. he's not interested anymore? What is going on? Ugh. I wonder why he's given mixed signals. Why did he do that? Meanwhile, oh, this boy is works for the Master of Whispers. Oh, that's gross. You get borderline, not raped, but like you get effed by a dead body essentially, and then a rat is crawling on your bed. Yeah. He's like, where the F did you come from? Well, now you gotta strip, buddy. She's trying to smash, and she didn't get what she got, or get what she wanted earlier, so she's gonna get it from you. He's like, I'm just trying to do my job. Kind of a dope helmet, though, not gonna lie. He's such a good dude. He is a better man than I. Like, he definitely wants this to happen, but he also is, like, very aware that it should not happen. How long does it take to remove all that armor? She's gonna have to keep this slow, seductive undressing going for upwards of 45 minutes while she takes all this off. My man's is living the dream right now. Oh, man. Kept his sword on, though. I mean, they're super cute together, and I want this to happen, but also, you're not allowed. Your job is to not do this. Ooh, goes to his butt cheeks. This is so intimate. Like, I'm intruding. This is just so intimate. It was like the scenes in Bridgerton where I'm just like, oh God, gotta close my eyes. Now put your gear back on and guard the door. You rapscallion.
Come.
He's gotta deliver some potentially very upsetting news to the king. I think it's upsetting to Otto as well, because it disrupts his plan for succession.
I have discomforting news. The princess was spied last evening, beyond the walls of the keep, in a pleasure house.
What of it?
He's like, so?
They were engaged in behaviors unbecoming of a maiden. Of a princess.
Yeah. An unmarried lady smooching her uncle.
Coupling.
Oh, she's listening.
You have been lied to. I only wish that were true, Your Grace.
He has it on good authority
Is her secret
It's not
ambition
good.
that you would have my daughter stolen, spied upon?
I mean, he is, but...
Your designs are obvious. Do you wish to have your blood on the Iron Throne so badly that you are willing to destroy mine own?
He is. He is, definitely, but he's also telling the truth. Notice that he didn't strip him of his role of Hand of the King, so he knows he's telling the truth. What's gonna happen? I mean, Targaryens do this all the time. Within context of that, it's like, what's the big deal? But in context of like how normal people go about things, that's pretty messed up.
Princess, I have a message from the Queen.
She's like, I thought we were cool. We just had sex. I thought we were in a good spot, and now you do this to me? You bring me a message from the Queen? Thought we were chill. Sir Kristen.
Your father accused me of something. Was I drank wine, left the castle after dark? You fucked Damon in a pleasure house.
She's the only one speaking it plainly.
This is a vile accusation.
Yeah, but you would have done it. If you wouldn't have pulled away, you would have done it.
Alicent, your Grace's sister, you must know I would never.
You super would, though. Yeah, but you would have had sex with him.
So you did not?
You would have done it, Rhaenyra.
Must I truly refute that?
Yes.
I swear this to you, upon the memory of my mother.
Ooh.
If that lord were to think that you were being...
spoiled?
sullied, it would ruin everything. I know.
She's the future queen. Who cares what those lords think? He's gonna be like, dude, you had sex with my daughter? We're about to fight.
You defiled her.
Ooh.
What does it matter, brother? When we were Rhaenyra's age, we fucked our way through most of the brothels on the Street of Silk.
We were young men. She is just a girl. Your niece.
Rhaenyra's a woman grown.
Yeah, she's like 18, right?
You have ruined her. What lord will wed her now in this condition?
Who gives a fuck what some lord thinks?
Yeah.
Your word is truth and law.
I have spent a lifetime defending you.
Yeah, you're the king. Who cares what these peasant lords think?
Wed her to me.
You are a plague, sent to destroy me.
Give me Rhaenyra to take to wife, and we will return the House of the Dragon to its proper glory.
Of course.
It's a good idea.
It's my throne. Go back to the Vale, Damon. To your lawful wife.
Kill your lawful wife. And you're fine. I mean... I'm essentially just Team Rhaenyra. Whatever she wants to do, I'm Gucci with. Whatever choice Rhaenyra makes is A-okay in my book. Although, it is gross. Gonna put that out there. Super think incest is gross. But given the fact that this is Game of Thrones world, it's morally ambiguous.
Damon and Rhaenyra share the blood of the dragon. They are restless and chaotic.
She swore to me that she remains a maiden.
No. Bro, if she wasn't a maiden from Damon early in the night, she's super not a maiden because of Sir Kristen Co. My honorable homeboy went and smashed cheeks They bumped uglies.
That dagger once belonged to Aegon the Conqueror.
Were you standing there the whole time?
From my blood come the prince that was promised.
Yup.
And his will be the song of ice and fire.
Yup. Good old Jon Snow.
Responsibility I have handed to you. The burden of this knowledge. It is larger than the throne.
I like the detail of the...
It is larger than you.
The knife getting
desires
less red as he keeps it out of the fire.
Were I born a man, I could bear Tim if I wanted. I could father a dozen bastards, and no one in your court would blink an eye.
But you were born a woman. You will wed Sir Laenor Velaryon, and you will do so without protest.
The son of the sea snake. So I can be a remedy for your political headaches.
Yeah.
You are my
it's
political
smart.
headache.
It's super smart. And the dude's got a dragon.
You speak of the Conqueror's vision and the need for strength and unity across the realm, but how can that be accomplished with your most trusted advisor so self-interested?
Every lord and lady that calls for an audience with me
has an interest of their own.
was passed as being self-interested.
True facts, true
It is
facts. Except
unavoidable.
for
I disagree.
the strong
I will
guy
do my duties,
who's just like blatantly
saying.
honest.
But you must first do yours as king.
Kill Otto.
You are the man that taught me how to be king.
Well, you honor me, Your Grace.
Yep, now you're fired. Get the hell out of here.
How long did it take you to choose yourself over your king?
Yeah. When he's the one that can tell you how to rule, he's the most powerful.
But Alicent, she took me through the worst of my grief. She was a calculated distraction. I only now realize how well calculated it was.
That is an absurdity.
It's true, though.
You were a faithful servant, Otto.
Kill him.
The crown and the realm, both owe you a debt, can never be repaid.
Yes.
But I can no longer trust your judgment.
F Otto. We don't like Otto.
I took great care in its preparation.
This is medieval Plan B.
I'm sorry, what is that?
A tea, Princess.
It's abortion tea.
It will rid you of any unwanted consequences.
Just in case, you know? Is she gonna drink it? Ho, 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 ho. End of the episode, end of the episode. Oh boy. What a doozy of an episode. Like, flip. So much happened in this episode. We have, right off the bat, what do we have? So we have this the whole current situation surrounding Rhaenyra's potential marriage to all these different lords. And the ins and outs and different spokes of that wheel of what that is, essentially, right? Like, so we start off where she is supposed to be like on tour, meeting all these lords that she could potentially marry, and she just doesn't want to do it. Like, she rejects all of them, ends the tour 2 months early. Like, she just is not a fan of this whole process and refuses to participate in it. And like, viewing it from the viewpoint of a modern individual, right? Like a person who is alive in 2022. I'm super on board Rhaenyra's side. It's like, why should she be made to marry when she doesn't want to, or she at least hasn't found someone that she wants to marry at the moment? Like, why why is it fair for her to be used as this political pawn, essentially, in this piece in the Targaryen rulership game? But then also understanding that this isn't 2022. This is, unfortunately, whatever fake year it is in Game of Thrones. And her marrying is not only smart for the control of the throne, but like it's important and necessary to keep the realm from like destabilizing, pretty much. I mean, I guess they could name Aegon heir, and it would kind of fix everything, but the king has decided that he's not going to go back on his word. He is not going to name Aegon the heir, and if she's going to remain the heir, then she needs to get married to continue her line. And because otherwise, if she doesn't get married, she doesn't have heirs. As soon as she ascends, it'll be open war. Like they showed in the preview for next episode, it will be war. And it will pretty much destabilize the kingdom, and there's gonna be fights next episode. They showed that in the preview, and it's gonna be wild. And the issue of Rhaenyra's innocence and who she is as a woman going forward is further complicated by the return of her uncle Daemon, and he comes back and gives his crown to his brother. And they talked about how in the post-episode thing, how it was meant to be viewed as like he's coming back and he's a brand new man. He's matured. He's, you know, realized the error of his ways, and now he's here to be a good brother to the king. But as the episode goes on, we realize he is exactly who he always was, and he is coming back not to support his brother, but again to spurn his brother. Even though he loves his brother, he is coming back to get back at him, right? Like he viewed his brother waiting so long to help and sending people at the last minute as an insult. I mean, he not even just the fact that he waited, but the fact that he sent people at all, like that his image was tainted by the idea that he could possibly need his brother's help in this situation. It was insulting to him. And so he's coming back to get back at his brother, and a good way to do that is through his niece, Rhaenyra. And they've had chemistry, they've had a connection pretty much the whole time, right? Like from episode 1, they've had this kind of weird connection, and the Targaryens have been known to engage in incest and marry sisters and uncles and nieces and all that jazz. And so from that context, it's not completely wild and out there in terms of behavior for them. But as is apparent by the reaction of everyone else here, the kingdom has kind of decided now that is pretty messed up. And they're generally not a fan of it. At least, okay, well, actually, we don't know if it's necessarily the incest part of it. The part that they're most upset about is the fact that she had sex without being married. That's like the big thing that they're all upset about, is like, as a woman in this world, you are expected to remain pure and unsullied until you are married, and then your husband is supposed to take your virginity. And it's this whole idea of like purity culture that even like persists now. Like that's a super prevalent situation, like within religious groups like Christianity or other religious affiliated, you know, sects, SCTS, like this idea that like you are somehow less than if you engaged in sexual activity before marriage. And it's just like, even now, it's, you know, people are still trying to move past that idea. And I think currently the biggest thing that is perpetuating that is religion. And as a man of faith myself, it's a very interesting, complicated path to wind down. Like, you know, as a person of faith in the modern times, you kind of have to navigate that of like, if you are someone who chooses to not have sex before marriage, like you have to decide if that's the reason you're doing that, and hopefully it's not because you view yourself as less if you do. You're not some like white rag. I've heard the metaphor of like you're a white rag, and if you do that, you are like rubbed in dirt or like blood or whatever, and then that stain can't ever come out. It's like, like it's so dumb, and it's so very apparent in this episode, like that the role of men and women are so different and viewed so differently in this world, where she even says it to the king himself. She's like, if I was a boy, I could be having sex with anyone I want. I could have sired 15 bastards by now, and no one would care. Like your advisors wouldn't bat an eye. Like, it doesn't matter. Even his brother is like, dude, when we were her age, we were smashing booties in all the brothels. And it's like, you know, for her it's bad because now she is viewed as, she could be viewed as like dirty, and you know, the seal is broken or whatever, and none of these lords will want her. And it's like, if she was just it's like, okay, even if we're disregarding like the modern viewpoint of this, if we're gonna fully embrace the in the past medieval fantasy style viewpoints of this situation, even if she was just a regular lord's daughter, sure, it might be important. You know, her marriage to a rich man might be something that is necessary, and she might have to play that game and not do those things until she's married. But if she is literally the heir to the throne, like if the king dies, she is queen. Like, if that is the situation, it shouldn't matter if these other lords are no longer interested in marrying her, because she's the goddamn queen. Like, she becomes queen, they're not gonna care. They're gonna be like, oh, look, I'm in line again to marry you. It's like, bro, like, she can make whatever decision she wants, but the big conflict comes directly from her night out with Daemon, where he takes her to this whorehouse and is essentially trying to seduce her, and they talked about how it's meant to be viewed as like a form of abuse, right? Like, if this happened now, we would very much view it as abuse, like an uncle trying to seduce his niece. It's a sexually abusive relationship, obviously. But we do have to factor in the fact that this is Game of Thrones, and the fact that they're Targaryen, so it's not quite the same. But something that I found very interesting, they talked about how, you know, Daemon is doing this because he feels in control in this moment, and he thinks that this environment is going to be shocking to her, and that it's going to cause some sort of discontent in her and the crown as a whole. But she kind of flips things on him, and it doesn't shock her, it excites her, and it awakens something in her. Like, she has a sexuality that she didn't necessarily realize she had awakened, and it goes from a situation of like, it's not just him abusing her in that situation, she is actively participating back, and she likes it, and it's like, okay, this is messed up. Like, this is gross. But they made a point in the after episode to be like, Daemon is the one perpetrating this. Like, he is the one that's driving this, but at the same time, Rhaenyra is not innocent. And she shows that further when she kind of lies to Alicent. But as soon as Daemon realizes that Rhaenyra is excited by this, he is no longer in control, and he no longer feels in control, and he's no longer excited by the possibility, and so he can't get hard, and he can't bring himself to have sex with her because, one, he's not in control anymore, and that's an important aspect for him, but two, they said deep down he knows what he's doing is wrong, and he loves his brother, and he loves his niece, and he knows that this is wrong, that he's doing that, and so he can't bring himself to do it. And then Otto's little minion spies on them, and it's interesting because, like, Rhaenyra would have done it. Like, she would have had sex with him, and it's just crazy. And then she goes back to her room, but she has this, like, awakened sexuality that she doesn't know what to do with. She doesn't know what to do with that feeling, and Sir Criston Cole is there, and these two they've kind of had this chemistry as well throughout the whole time that they've been together, and she gets him, like, she has sex with him, and he doesn't want to necessarily. I mean, he wants to, but he has sworn an oath of celibacy that he will not do that. He's in the Kingsguard. But he likes her, so he does it. He's living the dream. He's living my dream with Rhaenyra. She's 18 at this point, right? In the series? I want to make sure of that. I know the actress is, but the character herself. One thing I did think was super interesting, and it makes sense because in the reaction I was like, this reminds me of the Bridgerton sex scenes. I was like, it's so intimate and slow, and the camera angles and the things they're choosing to show is very reminiscent of that. And then in the after episode, they talked about how the director of this episode is a female, and she took great care to show these scenes from a female perspective, right? She talked about how so traditionally we see sex scenes from a male perspective, where oftentimes the man is the only one having pleasure, or they're focusing very much on the female's body while the man has pleasure, and she wanted to go about this in a way where it very much showed sex as a pleasurable thing for both individuals, but then also it wasn't purely focused on, like, hey, look, boobies, right? Like, these were meant to be viewed from a female perspective, because, like, this whole episode, when you're with Rhaenyra, is almost meant to be viewed from her perspective, in a sense. And so that's why it felt super reminiscent of Bridgerton, because Bridgerton's sex scenes were filmed from a female perspective, and so that's very, very interesting how they went about that. Alicent confronts Rhaenyra, and she kind of lies to her. She doesn't tell the whole truth, but she doesn't completely lie, right? Like, she is accused of having sex with Daemon in the pleasure house, and she denies it, which is true. Technically they didn't go all the way to Bonetown. They just, they drove most of the way down the road, and then Daemon exited early. So it's interesting that she tells her it didn't happen, and she's technically telling the truth. But if Daemon had continued, she would have done it with him, because she wants him, and she has found a newfound sexuality. Meanwhile, the king knows what's up with Daemon. He's like, bro, you don't want her, you want the throne, which is accurate, but he also probably does want her a little bit. And then the one of the bigger things that happens is the king removes Otto from his role of Hand of the King. He had to have it thrown in his face by his daughter that Otto has been scheming for his own gain pretty much this whole time, right? As soon as he I mean, he doesn't outright say that Otto had a role in his father's death, but he almost insinuates it a little bit, where he's like, you know, my father was Hand of the King for 5 days, and then he died, and then you were named Hand of the King, and you have subtly advanced your own agenda from that day. Like, how long did it take you to start choosing yourself over the kingdom? And he's not lying. Like, Otto genuinely cares about the king, but at the same time, he is choosing things and advising him in a way that is beneficial to himself, right? He wants his own blood on the Iron Throne. He wants Aegon on the Iron Throne. And then even in the post-episode thing where they're talking about next episode, he's telling Alicent, prepare Aegon to rule. Like, he's still angling for that, and he manipulated both the king and his daughter and everyone involved by getting her involved with the king. And so he is no longer Hand of the King, and he's going to be going back to Old Town probably. So that's interesting. And then the episode ends. The episode ends with the Maester bringing Rhaenyra, essentially medieval Plan B. You know, a potion, a tonic, a tea that will end whatever potential pregnancy could be going on right now. Like, she's probably not pregnant at this moment, but just in case she is, they're like, drink this, you know, because we're not going to deal with the fact that you could potentially be pregnant, and then we have to explain a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like, then it's not a matter of questioning your virtue. It is now like a guaranteed thing, like you did stuff. And I think she'll take it. They didn't show her take it, but she probably will. But it is then confirmation that at least this Maester, I mean, if it did come from the king, then the king knows as well that no matter what she told him, the king knows that she had sex with someone, whether it be his brother or anyone else. He's like, you're gonna drink this just in case. This episode was crazy. Lots of morally ambiguous stuff going down. Well, in modern days, morally wrong. In Game of Thrones time, morally ambiguous. And I don't, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, and next episode's looking like an even wilder situation. This show is so different from Rings of Power. Honestly, Rings of Power is just it's seemingly wholesome as heck, right? Like, it's just this beautifully slow-paced love letter to Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, and it's just like wonderful that they're like drip feeding it along. And then you go to this show and it's so tonally different, where they spend an entire episode focused on just debauchery and the political implications of it. And so it's just like this could never happen in the Lord of the Rings world. People would lose their goddamn minds. Oh man, this show is fantastic. Both shows are fantastic for very different reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are all my thoughts on this episode, though. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of the episode down in the comments below. I would love to hear all your thoughts. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a ton to me, and it helps my channel out a lot. If you're new here, or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to more of House of the Dragon. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would mean the world as well. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.